That was the plan, wasn't it?
Oh, we can try to do that. We'll see what we got. But yeah, well, in case anyone doesn't know, we're just talking about an old game that we used to love called Duelyst, which was a card game. Well, we're going to go through, we've already done the neutral minions, now we're just going to go through our favourite Lyonar cards, which is ironic because I didn't play much Lyonar because they didn't really appeal to me. But yeah, I've in card games I've always played like healing factions, so Hearthstone, Priest, Shadowverse, Heavencraft, and it wasn't until they added more healing cards to Lyonar that I even bothered playing this race. Is it the same with you, or?
Yeah, I mean, I gave the healing chick a bit of a go, Ziran, but I don't know, it was a very Lynar's a very stally
What?
type.
How are they
archetype.
stally? They were fucking aggressive as fuck, man.
Yeah, but like the entire start is like full of really good provoke characters to lead to their end game of, you know, dropping a 8/8 with celerity in the hopes that it doesn't get eliminated to just annihilate shit.
Oh man.
You know, having someone that pulls out allows you to move twice, or even a minion that turns into your general when your general dies.
Yeah, that was the first Grandmaster unit, and that was where the whole let's come up with really unique effects. And obviously that one ended up being like the tamest one that they came up.
But if you look at like the first, let's say 6 mana. First 6 mana of any Lyonar is about controlling the board, making sure you can keep as many minions up as possible. You either go the provoke heavy meaty type units, or you go your spam heal type stuff, and they've got other tools. They've got other tools that, you know, in weird non-lethal ways can help control the board to ensure they've got you know, it's just really just making sure there's enough, just keeping enough presence on the board, so then they can just all of a sudden come out and smash you with their late game stuff.
Well, I'll show you this game quickly then, Brownie. This is me playing Healer in the last month of the game.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Oh, it's only 3 minutes, Brownie.
Yeah, we'll do it later. We'll do this.
Let me, Brownie. All right, do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
All right, what have I got? Oh, that's not it. Let me check. First one is IronCliff Guardian.
Oh yeah, there's a tick.
Yeah, you've already got that.
It's like unfortunate because it's probably the most. If anything defined Lyonar, this is the card, and everything that I've just said basically is.
I know.
Look at that. It hasn't even been changed at all. Look at the balance changes. It came out at the start, and it hasn't even been touched again.
Well, it's such a cool card. I love it. It was such a huge threat. Like, as soon as that came down, it was like, holy shit.
You really expected at 5 mana this was going to get airdrop something, and that was the biggest
airdrop
part
means you
about
could put it anywhere.
Airdrop was the big part about it, and it was just like if the opponent had a big threat, it was like this is the ultimate counter. You could put it in there, you could block off a couple other things and provoke your way to victory. Yeah. And then even if you had was Argion the one that gives stuff +2 attack for a turn or something? Yeah, oh god.
So yeah, 5/10. But also Divine Bond, gain attack equal to your health. So this guy would if you didn't deal with him, he's dealing 13 damage next turn. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was always going to happen. What I love about IronCliff as well, like how many versions of IronCliff are there? Whoops.
Well, I saw in the later expansions there's a couple of different IronCliffs, isn't there?
So there's IronCliff Monument.
Oh, that's it.
Whenever you summon a minion, transform that minion into an IronCliff Guardian.
Yeah. And then there's the card that was it IronCliff Heart.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Which turns any minion into an IronCliff Guardian.
I love that.
For 4 mana.
Oh, how good is that? See, that minion was that popular that it literally had like multiple cards to turn people into IronCliffs. But I think when you think that's pretty much for me. It's like,
I mean, look, it didn't matter. It didn't matter which lineup person you were playing. You were probably going to have a couple of IronCliffs in there just in case stuff started going to shit and you needed to just drop one just to go, all right, I can take a breather while they spend an entire turn to kill this thing.
Well, I remember back in the early days, you probably still do this, where you wouldn't play that would be your cheapest minion. So you'd play IronCliff Guardian, you kill it, and then you play Keeper of the Veil and bring it back again.
Oh, God. Yeah, I could see that being a strat. Especially if you got Lyonar, because you can play some of the spells to heal that off. So,
all right. What about you then?
I'm gonna go a weird one.
What does this add? Yes.
I'm gonna go with Arclyte Sentinel.
That's the
Now.
Oh, this guy was cool.
Now, yeah. So, even though Mark will probably show a game that counters everything I said at the start, but this was something that you could play in pretty much all of the times, and it was really good. The opening gambit is just where it's at. Give any minion +2 attack but -2 health. Now this could work in a couple of different ways. IronCliff Guardian could all of a sudden have a +2 attack, loses health. Oh, who cares? It's a 5/8 airdrop provoke thing. That's you're not going to lose any sleep on how good that's going to be. On the flip side, say for example, there's a 2/4 on the board. Your hero goes up and hits it. This thing can use its opening gambit on that unit, and it disappears.
Yeah.
-2 health brings it down to 0, and it's gone. So it was really good in that type. It was one of those things where instead of it just being a flat buff or whatever, it had a dual ability to go. You can do this or you can do this, depending on what you needed. If you needed to blow up something big, you can boost your own unit to suicide into it, or just help by controlling and all that stuff. So really. Yeah, I liked it. Just really good. It's just really good for the mana cost area to bring it out, and you just know that it's probably going to help remove something instantly, especially with a lot of 1 and 2 mana stuff at the start. Well, where is it? Back in a sec.
Those are good. Yeah, just looking at this as well. It removes base health, so it's not deal 2 damage, it literally just removes it straight from your health pool. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of cards in the game where if they take damage, then you get a bonus for it. So that completely ignores that, which is pretty sweet. What's the word for it? It doesn't actually deal damage, it's actually just removes straight up health. So anything that you don't get a Phoenix Fire from it. Arclyte Sentinel. If you target
because there's a spell I think that does the same thing but costs 2 mana.
Yeah,
so for an extra mana, you get a 2/4 body on there, and a 2/4 body is pretty good for 3 mana. You're not gonna lose sleep over that.
No, I use this card quite a bit. He's also really good in Gauntlet as well.
Oh, in Gauntlet, it's amazing.
There's a trivia. Oh, there you go. But
anyway, so that's my first one I'll put up.
All right, now where am I up to? All right, this is going to be the first weapon actually.
Oh, I can guess which one it's going to be too.
Yeah, fuck this weapon. Although I enjoyed it. So Arclyte Regalia. So the way
it was the first one I saw, and I'm just like, okay, it's going to be that one.
Yeah, it's a legendary weapon as well. So artifacts in this game you can play and they get equipped to your champion. So the way they work is you got 3 charges. Every time you take damage, you lose a charge. So outside of, let's say, Acidic Ooze, which destroys an artifact instantly, which I did end up using quite a bit during Lyonar metas, you'd have to do 3 sources of damage, which, as the game progressed, came pretty easy. But this thing was fucked in that the first time your general takes damage, you prevent 2 of it. So your general does 2 damage, which means your general will not actually break this. Won't even be able to break the thing. So you may require, a lot of the times it will require 4 hits in a single turn, or even more. So the best way to get rid of this is to hit this with something over 2 attack, so that it will release damage it and break a part off, because it only works for the first time. But if you don't have the ability to ping this, it is extremely difficult to get rid of this. And you don't want to use your general to break this this thing off. And also, it synergizes well with other weapons. Like, if you've got more than 1 equipment attached, all of a sudden, it's becoming very hard to even remove it. Because, let's say, look, as an example, say you play this on turn 2, and they got 1 minion out. They attack with their minion, it dies. You hit it with your general. You've taken 1 of their 3 charges off, and you've taken 4 damage. And then you have to worry about it next turn. It also means that the general can attack into most things for free, as long as you got 2 attack or less. Now, it was crazy, and this thing was played so much. Oh, but yeah. Anything else on that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're giving me shit that Lynar's not stall, and you pull out this weapon as the second thing you pick. The worst part about this is you had to have a minion with 3 attack to be able to even take charges off it. That was single-handedly the worst part about it. It would not only nullify 2 damage from everything, but if the minions couldn't even do more than 2 damage, it wasn't even taken off notches off it. And with like each weapon has like 3, it can withstand 3 attacks before it breaks. But this, you had to have 3 attacks from 3 or more damage to be able to break it. And that was
mind you,
insane.
You can do it over a couple of turns, but if it's just taking more than 2 turns, you're fucked.
Yeah, but you have to remember some of the deck archetypes. Wraithling spam. Well, you're essentially useless unless you can boost your Wraithlings.
Wraithlings would be. You could attack with 4 Wraithlings and it would break it. It's still a pain in the ass.
4? No, because you have to have more than 2 attack for it to take off a thing.
The first time your general takes damage, you block 2 of it. So as soon as you do damage to it once, then the effect is over.
Oh.
So that's why you want to hit it with 3.
Oh, okay.
That's why you want to hit it on the 3 attacks, so the first attack does damage to break it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about that part.
But you're goddamn strong. Yeah,
it was pretty brutal. I mean, it just meant like on your own turn, your hero usually only attacks once. So it just meant like you could just walk up to anything with 2 or less attack and do 2 4s, which you usually can withstand a lot. No, they can't withstand shit.
Well, that last minion, the Arclyte Sentinel just gets wrecked by that.
Yeah.
What's that going to do?
Just gets wrecked. Can't do anything. Let's go with... this might be a bit controversial, but I like controversial. Let's go with Fizz.
Okay. Well, it is favourite units, not good units.
Well, it's good and favourite, but it was pretty good.
It's a glorified healing mystic.
Yeah, that's fine, but it has better stats.
1 extra stat and it turns stupid.
Yep, that's all. But it's if you played early game, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's a battle pet. It has stats of 3/3, and it restores 2 health to a minion or general. And especially with the heal deck Lyonar archetypes, this is a lovely unit. I loved it. I loved using it because, especially in an early game, you would if you saw a Fizz, you wouldn't want to be suiciding much into it. And given some of the units that the Lyonar has, or any people have it, like the 2 mana, this thing's basically threatening everything. But you get the 2, and you get the 2 heal as well. So you can play something, they can cop some damage, or your hero can cop damage, and then you just pop this out. It's healing Mystic, but just with an extra attack that you can't control. But who cares? You're just expecting it to suicide into something or do 3 damage to something. Doesn't matter who it does it to. You just know it's going to be value. All this has to do is just restore the 2 health, do 1 attack, and it's paid for itself.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Compared to I'd still take Ooze over this. Although Ooze is in another class, but...
It's in another class, yeah. I mean, you're not taking Ooze in a Lyonar deck, are you?
Fair enough.
Exactly. It's chiefly going up against healing mystics that you can control, but in some cases, it's probably preferable just to throw one of these out, just to have that little bit of RNG chaos, just to bit unexpected, something for the enemy to watch, something that does 3 damage. Like going up from 2 to 3 damage is something that you can't just ignore. It's going to do it.
Trades. I think it trades with 90% of trade. It should win 90% of 2-drop trades. It requires something like Windblade Adept would probably trade into it, but other than that, I'm trying to think of anything that's a 2-drop that survives this besides maybe
the 1/4 that rock thing.
Yeah, but even those 1/4s don't. It's not trading well because it's still you still have to deal with it. This thing's still going to kill it over time. But yeah, the only thing with this is that you can't control it. But those stats are decent.
But it was good. And look, it has its synergy with the heal decks, or even just in other lineups where you just want that heal. Heal 2-drop, throw it out. All round nice card. I liked it.
Fair enough. All right, so back to me. Decimate, a legendary spell.
Decimate.
Destroy all minions that are not nearby any general.
Oh.
See, this is why I love positioning-based things. If someone starts moving all their shit away from their general, you're like, bam, 4 mana, everything is dead. It affects your stuff as well, but Lyonar has a lot of Zeal units which get bonuses for being next to their general. So chances are, if you're playing, let's be honest, you're playing this card, you're not going to play it when all your minions are on the other side of the board. Oh, bear. Not much more to say about that other than, oh, whoa, look at that effect.
Well, I mean, this used to be a good counter for Jack's True Sight.
Oh yeah, that was shit on Jack's.
Someone throws that out and you just decimate. I mean, it's a little bit, and you might get some other cards with it as well. But hey, it deals with all 4 range minions without you having to spend a lot.
Yeah. I believe Vitruvian ended up getting lost in the desert, which is the same thing, except it only deals 5 damage or 4 damage. Very similar. But yeah,
and it would be good. It would be good against Vitruvian, especially with the obelisks, because the obelisks never usually are next to next to your general.
Well, no one ever played around this card. I found. No. I used to have it as a one-off because I didn't want to make any more I didn't want to craft anymore because it was a Lyonar card for a start. But yeah, this card was sweet. Like I got a lot of value out of that. There's not much more to add. It's just a fucking removal spell that just really caught people off guard. But yeah, it was fun. All right, here.
Yeah, that was nice. Let's go with this is a card that I actually half the time try to use, but use it a bit, and I was actually got it off okay. Every now and then, so it was good. Sunbreaker.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to include this one. I think I remember this guy. This piece.
Yeah. So this one is a really interesting 4-drop. So it has Force Field, but the main thing is your Bloodborne spell becomes Tempest. So if you want to spend a second to look up Tempest, but Tempest basically just does 2 damage to everything.
Yeah, deal 2 damage to all minions and generals.
All minions and
Why would they just say deals 2 damage to everything? Why do they have to do... So this is an early game card. You can tell they haven't got the terminology right yet. Do 2 damage to all minions and generals. Like, just 2 damage. Oh, it used to do 3 damage.
Wow.
Used 4 mana, 3 damage. Rename Tempest from.
But there's also the cost decrease too.
Then they decreased the cost, and then they changed the thing. Temple Effect Gift not working. That's a shame. But yeah. So yeah.
So I used to do this with a in my Lyonar deck, where I'd have a few of these in there as well. So you're doing a lot of heal stall stuff, but then you could just throw this out and then just like nuke the entire board to clear and stuff like that. It had force field, so it meant it was going to eat the Tempest once. The force field would disappear until it's back on your turn, I believe. I think that's how force field worked.
I reckon it was activated each turn, so I reckon it may have been back up on the opponent's turn.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember
turn.
if it was each turn. Okay.
Even if a spell deals 0 damage, it still breaks the force field.
Yeah, it cop its own tempests without any issues, and then it still meant it took someone to break the force field and then someone to actually do 4 damage to kill it. So it was one of those cards that unfortunately it was slightly sticky to deal with, and it had this beautiful clearance thing. And look, for Lyonar, you could play this, throw out the Tempest and do 2 damage to everything. Pop a Fizz and just give you 2 health back on your hero. Move on.
It replaces your Bloodborne spell, so you either losing the +2 damage from or a heal from your general.
Yeah, and if depending on the state of the game, the heal might not be necessary, the damage might not be necessary. So you just
it's something you do want to get rid of. You don't getting free Tempest not free. Actually, to be fair, it's free. Let's be honest, you're not using a card.
Being able to cast Tempest without burning a card is pretty good. So I used to use it a bit, especially against arsehole people that played Wraithlings, Mark. Not that I get it out when I needed it, but sometimes it would work. Sometimes it was useful.
I'll be right back, Brandon. You need to use the bathroom. Ow.
No problems.
You can have some time to think about things. Think about your life decisions.
Yay.
Oh, it's right here. Sunsister Sterope. We've already covered one of the neutral sister. Now the Lyonar sister. You talked about controversial, but I did use this. I did use this in my Lyonar deck. As I said, most of my experience is actually going to be with Lyonar, aka what's her name? The general since most of these are going to be. So most of them are going to be Zerion. So I mainly played this hero here for the heal spell, restore 3 health to any minion. So she could cast that spell herself. So most of my stuff is going to be Sunsister Sterope. Most of my creatures are going to benefit off that. I didn't play the other more aggressive version. I prefer the healing style over anything else. So whenever you heal, when anything is healed, which also includes your opponent, you put a True Strike into your action bar. Now, True Strike is a card which it's 1 mana till do damage to a minion. And to be honest, no one
used that spell.
No one used that. It's not a bad spell, but you don't put it in your deck. There are better things to do. 2 damage to a minion only is very restrictive. I didn't realize there was a retribution. That must have been before my time. But yeah, so I like cards that take cards that are not necessarily terrible, but you're never going to play because they're better things. So whenever you heal something, you got this. So you could deal 2 damage to any minion, which you could, most of the time you could use it as replace fodder, so you can keep all your cards that, in your action bar, replace this thing and get a new one. So it was almost like card draw when you think about it. So you could have because a lot of the Lyonar cards were very good high value and you never wanted to get rid of them. So being able to generate stuff like this and be able to throw it into your deck to get a better card, not to mention just generating 1 mana deal 2 damage is pretty sweet. So yeah, I really like this card.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, if you manage to actually keep it on the board, it's one of those ones where it just sort of filled up your action bar.
Oh, that happened quite often as well. That kind of sucked.
you know, especially if you're like down to like 1 or 2 cards, you know, it could actually just put a bit more fodder on there and help chew up the dregs in mana. I mean, look, it's if it stays on there and you manage to get the heals going and get the generating going, yeah, it's a really good card. A lot of the times I use it, it would just die because people would just like,
it still requires a bit to take out though.
Yeah, I know, but it just, you know, people would just go, no, we're not having any of that. You're not getting any true strikes out of this shit.
The funny thing is, there were a lot better cards to use removal on in my deck. This was almost like the decoy. It's like, yeah, use your shit on this, and because at least you can get some instant value out of it with like at least a true strike. Because I had a lot more cards that I didn't want removal hitting. I was more than happy for her to take it. But yeah, she was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she was alright.
But yeah. But as I said, she's a card that would probably be the first to be dropped from my list, but I still like the card regardless. Alright.
Alright. Well, we're going to stay in the sun category. The Sunriser.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great card. Basically, you didn't care if it died as long as when it came out and you had a heal and it was going to do some clearance for you. Which was perfect. And if they didn't have an answer for it and it stayed up, then it was just gravy afterwards. But basically, it's basically another heal synergy card where it's like whenever any minion or general is healed, you deal 2 damage to all nearby enemies. So basically, the full 8 squares surrounding this would just get nuked with 2 damage. Can get done repeatedly, so it wasn't limited to just one. It was every time it healed. So you heal 5 times in a turn, you deal 10 damage to everything around it.
That's not including Holy Immolation, which you can put on us. That's like that's 6 damage around her right there.
Yeah. So this is a really nice card.
This is the main reason I like playing Healer now, was this card. I tried to make her work before Xerin became a champion. But she's a card that existed before the archetype. So the more shit that came out, the better this card got.
As a lot more heal synergy and stuff came out, this thing was just continued just to be front and center. The main thing that was always going to be in the heal decks. Really good card. Loved it.
Yeah, Sunriser was awesome. Yeah, that's on my deck. So, on my list, I mean. But yeah, as said, it's the main reason I played it. Sunriser.
Yeah, just the fucking heal stack damage on your general hurt makes this difficult. Too bad about the order.
No, the order's fine.
Oh, just look at that. Ugh.
Yeah. May I take your order? Which thing goes on? Let's continue with the sun.
Which sun are you going with?
The Sunforge Lancer.
Oh, you went with that one, did you?
Even cooler. So, as I said, there was a lot of different bonuses you can get to healing. This guy, whenever a minion or general was healed, you got your general to gain +1 attack. Like, mind you, it could be dispelled, but what was cool is you got this guy down early. Getting a general to go from 2 attack to like 4 to 5 to 6 was crazy. And then they would have to like, even if they wipe this guy out, having a 3 attack general, can wipe out. It's such a huge increase in the amount of shit your general can wipe out. It's crazy.
Yeah, even if you only got it once, it was...
Yeah, it means you can wipe out 90% of 2 drops. But this thing was sweet. So yeah, do they use a dispel on your hero to get rid of the bonus? Do they dispel this guy to prevent you from activating it? But this thing was cool. So you want this guy down quite early, to be honest, and then try to get some healing straight away. But yeah, this is one of the cooler minions. A Sunforge Lancer can increase an invulnerable general's attack even though nothing is supposed to be able to interact with them. What? And yes, this card was awesome. It's definitely one of my favourite. Yep, so play this. Heal that. I get a +1 damage. +1 attack from healing that. That minion also healed me, so I get another heal. So already, +4 attack. It is nuts. At the moment, he can't remove it, so what can you do? So now, just every turn, every time I heal something, I'm just going to get more and more attack. The problem with him doing that is I can just heal that for free. Up to +5, +6. So this what happens when you got multiple units. Now this unit here casts Holy Immolation at the start of my turn on every injured unit that I have, which is 4 damage to everything around it. And that just straight up gave me 8 damage. As I said, Sunforge Lancer was legit awesome. Well, with news of... Isn't this ironic that as soon as we started talking... Now, to be fair, we knew they were working on Duelyst 2 already, but it's funny, as soon as we started talking about the tier list, all of a sudden it's like an actual reality that we're going to be able to play it this month. The sequel to this game. I still can't believe it.
Are we still doing Lyonar cards?
We are. Looks, I've got... I've got 4 more left.
I've got 5 ticks. Does that mean I've got 5 left?
I think so, yes.
Ooh. Alright, well, I'll do a spell. Seeing as I think I did Sunriser, I'll do its spell version, Holy Immolation.
Oh, fuck this card. Seriously, I hate it so much. Like, I know that I played it, but I played it because
you had to. It was a card you had to play. Can you get away, cat? All right, let me just. Sorry, I'm just still setting up here, but yeah.
God, yeah, this card was. This was
a very nice card. Is it haunting your dreams already?
I just remember just playing against it. It's so fucked. I don't know. Like on paper, it sounds fine, but it is.
You had to expect it as well. So it's basically 4 mana, restore 4 health to a friendly minion, deal 4 damage to enemies around it. Played directly after an IronCliff Guardian is airdropped turn before.
It's just so much. It's one of those things that it's like on paper, like it's not that bad. Like 2 mana Phoenix Fire is what 3 damage, but it basically allows you to attack with a high HP minion. Then they heal, so then you still got to deal with a fully healed minion. It damages you in the face for 4, kills everything around it mainly, and everyone's like, oh, use good positioning and all this stuff, and you try. But then they released a fucking battle pet that cost 0 mana, so they used to put that down on this on top of it, and it was fucked.
Mate, even just some wisp.
Yeah.
2-1, drop it in, and then just Holy Immolation detonate.
This card was so strong, you didn't even use the healing function some of the time. It was literally just a burn spell.
That was the gravy on top. If you still had an IronCliff Guardian that wasn't dead, it still had like a couple of health bars left, and you just give it a nice little 4.
I was watching a guy's video on his top 10 most annoying cards, and when I was listening to it, I was like, wait a minute, this is fucking from beta. But even back then, Holy Immolation was on the list. Like,
yeah, well, it looks like it hasn't even changed at all.
No, like it's one of those things where you can't say it's overpowered. Like in a vacuum, it isn't. but just the way it works is just so good that it fucks you over. Like if you were to,
well, I think this was definitely one of the main card removal. Unit removal cards for Lyonar. If not, it was his chief architect. And I mean, even though it was epic, you still were expecting 3 in a hand.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I had to waste epic cards on fucking Lyonar, but not happy about that. Could be worse.
Wow.
It could be.
That sounds really. That makes it sound really dirty.
Oh man, no, trust me.
I spent essence to get Lyonar cards.
To be fair, the same thing happened with Songhai. There was some really good Songhai cards that were all like epic and shit, and like, oh damn it. But yeah, this card was ridiculous. Like, it's so ridiculously strong, but at the same time, I can't even say it's overpowered. Like, compared to some of the, like, if someone say, oh, as a burn spell, it's not strong. As a healing spell, it's not strong. As a removal, it's not strong. But the fact it does all 3 at once, I think, is what makes it so good.
Yeah. It's. I think every Lyonar deck was starting with 3 of these, and then working on what else they were going to put in their decks.
Yeah, I would love to actually see what the ratio of that is. But yeah, I reckon 90% of decks would have this, from rush decks to heal decks to control decks.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think. Because 4 health, so that you're looking up towards. That's going to kill. There's a lot of late game creatures that have 4 health or less. That's going to wipe out most things.
Especially the ones that are like weirdly statted, like like they're like
Certainty.
10 or what. It's just
If anyone plays Certainty.
Some of the stats really were. Some of them were just abhorrently weird.
Yeah. But fuck that card.
Anyway,
if I look, I'm going to look him up now. Slow. Here he is, because I believe this got changed purely because of Holy Immolation. Yes, mana and cross increased from 0 to 1. 1/4 provoke battle pet. Yeah, because it's not real. The battle pet, I can understand why. It's got provoke. Why the fuck would you need this thing to move?
Yeah, but it moves and attacks automatically, so that's probably why they thought we'd better make this cost 0 because its provoke is pretty useless.
Yeah.
It'll kill itself in a turn.
Yeah, no, if 1/4 still
provoke's
decent.
good, but you don't want your unit to be attacking like.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want it to attack. Yeah. Still good after. Yeah, but it attacks and then you Holy Immolation it. So, but all right. So where we Holy Immolate? Yeah. Part of me felt that was always going to appear on the list.
Of course it was.
Yeah, it's infamous.
When we had to play Lyonar, we had to play this card.
All right. Now for one of my cards that was complete shit, but I loved it, so I used it anyway. Excelsious.
That's the big. Is that the big 8/8 thing?
Okay, so this thing had provoke, which meant that you can't move away from it and had to attack it. Celerity, so it could attack twice. And for each minion that you healed, you got +1/+1. So you're like...
I tried to make this thing work. It just never got off the ground.
100%. It never... maybe once or twice. Let's be honest. If this thing is actually going to work, your opponent surrenders. You'll never see it do anything.
If they've got no dispel or removal, then they're either surrender. They're not saying long enough. I remember trying to make bloody heal on our decks, and you add this in, but you just never got to see it. It just that was. Yeah, my removal's like fucking buried.
Does he still? Yes, he does. Oh, I can still do this. Hell yeah, go Excelsious!
Pretty piss poor. Like you're either winning or you just couldn't play it because you're losing that bad.
I still love. To be fair, you can still play it as a provoke minion. Like even a 6/6 is pretty deep. 6/6 for 8's pretty garbage, but you can still play it if you really needed to. But I just loved it I just took it as a 1 or 2 of, where it's like, if I ever get a chance to play it, here it is. But yeah. I don't know if maybe 1 or 2 games. I don't know if I've ever hit someone with the minion. I think at most I've caused a surrender. But yeah. But I still have a soft spot for this guy. I think he's cool. I like the idea of a huge payoff.
I love the idea of the card. It was just the problem was you're playing it for 8. You'd be lucky to do your bloody Bloodborne spell.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's big enough there?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here? Oh no, it's ruined everything.
But yeah, just the problem was in its next turn, it's either getting removed or something's crashing into it to kill it, and
yeah.
you couldn't have that next turn just to then play like 3 heal spells, turn it to a 9/9, and then have it like use its celerity to its maximum benefit, which is pretty sad. But yeah, I like the idea of the card. Fight is a wonderful thing, Mark. You are not getting Excelsious to fucking attack. This is going to be my little spite for you playing such a fucked up deck against me.
It's so good there, press E.
I might go with another spell card.
Yes.
It's a card I really like using. Lasting Judgment.
Are you the one who said Arclyte that... Wait, are you the one who said fucking Arclyte... No. You did too, Arclyte Sentinel.
Arclyte Sentinel, yeah.
Okay, so now you're going for the spell version of this.
Well, yeah, but it just has a bit more... Well, I mean, these were unique out of all the races. No other races had this type of ability. And it's just like... The flexibility is just great on these.
There it is. Lasting Judgment.
And it's a good.
Whoa! Look at that effect.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a lot of interactions and balance changes and whoa! It used to do.
Wait, what?
It used to do give any minion +4 attack but -4 health at the start. Then unknown.
Yeah, it wasn't enough fucking 4 health minions. So I can cleanly kill a Sunsteel Defender. Effect can be dispelled and restore 3 health to the enemy. Okay. Now it's a pretty cool spell. I like the fact you can use it either as a burn damage or as removal.
You can either do it as burn or you can do it as a nuke. Like, you know, if something's got 5 and you just want to just boost something that's going to be suiciding into it anyway. But yeah, just the removing 3 health, you know, and if anything's already at 3 health or under, it's just killing it instantly. So it's just one of those unique cards that has a flexibility. Like you could put this on IronCliff Guardian, all of a sudden it turns into a 5/7. No,
yeah,
6/7, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, okay, that thing actually has a lot more presence than it should.
Mind you, you can't actually heal it back up.
No, but I mean, you know But for 2 mana, it's just a nice, you know, early game removal, mid game removal, or
I'd 100% take this in Gauntlet. This thing would be fucking amazing in Gauntlet.
And it's not like, you know, it lasts 1 turn; it lasts permanently.
Yeah. Until
it's dead. So it was, yeah. I mean, look, just like the Arclyte Sentinel, which had the similar ability but less. You know, the Arclyte Sentinel is probably better, even though it does a less effect. You're still getting a body on the board, but this was still just as good. Like, and given Lyonar stuff that's pretty tanky, it's just really good just to get, you know, just these kinds of cards are really nice and they're unique. And I like unique.
Holy shit! If you cast Lasting Judgment on a Moonlight Basilisk, so it'll turn into the Moonlight Basilisk and then it dies instantly. That's great. Yeah, that's a cool card. I might do a spell as well then. Have you noticed how like all my cards are just a Lyonar subtype?
Yeah, we know.
Because I played Priest in Hearthstone. I played Havencraft in Shadowverse. I played Soraka and Tahm Kench in Legends of Runeterra. So yeah, I love the healing. Anything that can use healing as a resource, I really like.
So can I guess your next card then, maybe?
Yes.
No, go on. Say it. I think I know which one it's going to be.
Fortified Assault.
Okay, I didn't know what your card was going to be.
Okay. So basically... I need to read it. So basically, there was a time when there was a little bit of like unrest that they weren't using the board enough in the game, and I believe that patch was when we got Hallowed Ground, which was heal a friendly unit at the end of turn. Magma got whatever the fuck their flourish thing was. I didn't really see that much, and Vitruvian got their bullshit sand tiles. So this was cool because you could there was so many cool Hallowed Ground cards you could play, and yeah, so it just all added up the synergies. This one was cool because this allowed you to get like a nice payoff. So not only did could you create a Hallowed Ground, then you could like fucking kill it. So if you had like 3 or 4, so 1 mana 3 to 4 damage spell, and when you kill shit, then you can move your stuff onto it and heal. This thing was awesome. Like, it was definitely one of my favourite cards I like to use. It was pretty unique in that regard.
Yeah, I remember trying the Hallowed Ground stuff. I never got into it at all. It was very... I mean, look, it was good because of the chessboard placement and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just had like some mental block where I just couldn't make it work.
I sent a video, like I had a healing our game using Hallowed Ground, where I think I won the game in 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Because it could be aggressive. Like, if you have Hallowed Ground on a tanky unit, they can't get rid of that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, not much more to say about this. But yeah, I really like the Hallowed Ground mechanic. What other Hallowed Ground cards were there? Sunrise.
There ended up being a few of them, didn't there?
Sunrise Cleric was incredibly strong. Aprian's Claim I never used. What did that do? Did that kill everything? Destroy all minions in a 3x3 area and turn it into Hallowed Ground. Yeah, I never got around to using that, because once again, I'm not wasting a fucking legendary card on Lyonar. It's bad enough they got Excelsious out of me. Fortified Sanctify was the other good one. I used Sanctify a lot as well. +1/+1. But yeah, that was a cool one. But yeah, not much more to say about that.
Just kill it outright. Whoops.
But yeah, I just liked it as a removal spell. It was pretty sweet. Say when Brownie's on. Or did you want me to show you that game?
No.
I got 2 more in Lyonar, then we can forget.
I'm just dealing with some crying kids. Hang on a second.
We would have killed him. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, okay, next card, Brownie.
Suntide Maiden.
Now, this was a cool card, but yeah, I can never find besides Gauntlet, I don't remember this card actually being any good.
I just have it in heal decks.
At the end of your turn... Oh, so Zeal means you have to be near your general. So that you have to remember.
Yes, that's the only stipulation. But yeah, I had it in heal decks, and it was really good at like either it's eating like a dark transformation or something nice and big like that. 5 mana removal for a 4 mana card. Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. Or it's just gonna sit there like around the general and just help control space.
Yeah.
And they either have to throw everything at it. And look, 3 damage output's pretty nice too.
It's decent.
It's killing and hurting stuff, but you still have to. You're still required to throw a couple of things at it to get rid of it fully. And because if you don't, well, it'll just fully heal.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I used to have it in my heal decks. And yeah, just used to have that nice little. You didn't have to worry about directly healing it, because if you used it right, it will just fully heal it itself. Yeah, I used to like them. Like they're just. I don't know. It's just that nice little tankiness that just. You just, yeah, I don't know, it's really good.
I've had issues with this card when I was in Gauntlet. I think I have had this card where if I hadn't had an answer, you kind of fucked. But
Oh, yeah.
in a constructed deck, I think I had it a couple stages, but I ended up removing it. Mainly just because of the 4 mana. There was so many other minions at the 4 mana mark that eventually you had to make cuts where it's like you either needed cheaper minions or you needed a bit higher curve. So this was competing with the Sunriser.
Sometimes either 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, so if let's type in 4. So what did we... Okay, so... What did I actually use that could be used there? Fuck, let's just go down. Let's see. Yep, Soul Piercer, Sunsister Sterope, and Sunforge Lancer's 3, Sunbreaker's 4, Sunriser's 4, Suntide Maiden's 4, War Adjudicator's 4. Whatever that is. So there's a few minions at the 4 mark, but yeah, like I said, it was a good minion. But yeah, I end up removing it. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it is really cool. But I did pick it up in Gauntlet a couple of times, and it can be strong. But yeah, not much more to say about it. It's pretty sweet. Fully healed though, it's pretty sweet. Is there anything that doubles its health? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, Divine Bonds?
That just gives you health. That just gives you attack based off health.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
Is there anything? I guess there's Aryan Nexus. Holy shit, that's a new trap card if I've ever seen it. So Blood Surge is whenever you cast
Scintilla.
your general power. You cast when you cast your hero power, she'll store 3 health to your general.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was a good card.
So your general can heal a minion, and then you get healed as well. So you can heal like 6 HP. So if you've got like anything that buffs, so this is like a double buff to Excelsious. It's a double buff to your attack damage. If you got the card that buffs your damage via healing, whole bunch of things. Yeah, this double buff from Sunriser. This thing was awesome. This kept your general so fucking healthy. Fucking love this card. And it's fucking sweet animations as well.
And it also meant it proc 2 heals in like the one sort of action.
Yeah.
Like in terms of using mana, you just like you'd use that to say heal one thing, that heals, and you're getting 2 procs, say on your your Light Chaser or God forbid your Sunriser, which was really good.
Yeah, this thing was sweet.
And it also worked pretty well with the mainliner champion as well, who just adds 2 attack, but given his
like 3/4 that heals your general, still good against anything.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good on him as well, just because he's usually at the front anyway, so he'd be just getting nice little heal taps every time he boosted damage or something else. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like this card. This card was sweet. Such a great enabler. Alrighty, so I've only got one more after this, unless you pick the same card.
Are we doing? How many are we doing? 8, are we?
I think it was 10. But if we said the same card, then yeah, we didn't add any more. Neutrals, we just replaced them because there's a lot of neutrals. But I think
that's right.
Because I don't know if you've said any that I've said. IronCliff Guardian maybe being the only one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll do Trinity Oath. I think that was a really good card.
Yeah, this card was fucking crazy.
In the world of card draw from your deck went from 2 to 1. Stuff like this became gospel.
Well, Lyonar didn't really have any good card draw outside of some really weird things.
And given that the bloody stupid deck has lots of little bullshit that you can add into it, and you can just burn your hand pretty quick in sometimes, it really did stick out like a sore thumb. But this was really good. Even if you got it in bloody Gauntlet, you're set. But yeah, draw 3 cards, restore 3 health to your general for 4 mana. Pretty nice.
The thing as well, I reckon most of my games were won or lost on whether I drew this card or not.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're requiring a tempo play and you had this, it's probably going to put you back a bit. But when you've only got one card in your hand and you draw this, then it's the best.
Oh, it's such a fucking backbreaker as well. You'd be like playing against them and they play 2 of these in a row. Actually, that's really bad tempo loss. But still, it's pretty... Would you ever play 2 in a row? No, you'd just play 1 a turn. It is fucking ball breaker. Holy shit. You see they got 1 card in hand and they draw this. It's like, no. And all of a sudden they're back to 3 again. And, this card was amazing. It made Lyonar actually... made a Lyonar actually possible. So besides him, then they added Solarius later, but before that, what was their only way? It was this stupid Zeal card that was really, Solarius was added later, and that was really good. And what was this other one? Afterblaze was pretty average. Lionheart Blessing, that was the only other one that really had per card draw.
Yeah.
Which give a friend in Zeal whenever it deals damage, draw a card. As I said, that was very fucking situational. But yeah. So yeah, that was so needed. Like even the what the hell is this? Is that a body pillow ad? I'm afraid to click on it. Should I click on it?
No. Unless you're that excited for a body pillow.
Nah, we can leave it alone for now. But yeah, that card was really good. Like I think most decks ran that card.
Attack, both players lose 3 mana, restore 10 health to your general. Holy crap, what a card!
Yeah.
Fuck, those artifacts have just counted so fucking hard.
Oh, this guy stands out. He's basic, but he's fucking cool. So when you first play Lyonar, this will probably be the biggest hurdle that you'll face. So once again, Provoke prevents you from moving. You can only attack it. And Zeal +2 attack. So early game,
the Silverguard Knight.
A 3/5 is crazy good at the start of the game. But like... there's so many ways of playing around it. You could brute force your way through it. You could silence it. Late game, if it's not near a general, it's completely fucking useless. But yeah, this card was cool. I like the fact that he's got 2 giant shields. But yeah, this card was sweet. Like, as I said, like for most new players coming into the game, this will help win the game straight away at the start. So it takes a bit of playing around with this guy. Because this guy will fucking eat most things for the first 1 or 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It was really good. And again, it's especially one of those cards that just helps around with space around the general.
Yeah.
And you had to get through this just to even get near the general sometimes, and it was just a pain in the ass. And you're actually thinking about using Dispel or even removal on a card that costs 3 mana.
Yeah. But you can always repulse a beast it. Like you can do ways of moving it so it's not near the general. So you can
repulse a beast. I think was probably the best.
Half Sister was pretty
out of the way
as well.
Yeah, and it's just basically okay. And it loses to Zeal. I mean, but it's still got 5 health, 1 mat, and even though, but the one damage,
like
no Zeal.
Stat for stat, it'd be one of the strongest 3 drops in the entire game, wouldn't it? Like, remember Fenrir Warmaster used to be good before they nerfed the shit out of it. But like, there's very few decks that never ran it.
Yeah, I think given that you had the shield master for which was a 2/6 for 4 mana. I mean, it was probably up against that, but it was obviously for Lyonar, it's probably a better version of that because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
If played right, it can do a lot more than that.
Not better than this piece of shit, Silverguard Squire. Change from basic to common. But yeah. That's a little better.
Oh god. Oh god. I don't know if you're gonna like this. Wisp.
Oh, I like Sunwisp. I'm not gonna lie. Sunwisp was cool.
This was needed. This was a needed card. At the very worst, you're still drawing a card for your deck and getting a body on the board.
Well, this thing will end up replacing.
At its best, it was taking out something that had 2 health and 3 attack or something like that in the early game.
But they end up replacing a lot of 2-drops because people used to take the 4/3 Zeal one, Windblade Adept. But a lot of people dropped it for this card because it's like, whatever, it does the same thing.
It got nerfed as well. I think it's Zeal only got to 1 attack or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so.
But I like Sunwisp. Sunwisp was cool.
Yeah, Sunwisp was good just to have. It's a body out there that has to be dealt with. You know, if this is absorbing your the blood tier alchemist counter, this card's already done its job. It's drawn a card and copped a blood tier alchemist zap. You're a very happy player right now.
You have to remember in this game as well is that blocking movement is still good. Like, it's not like a case in a card game where you drop it and it just instantly dies to your opponent's board. No, they have to deal with it in that if they attack it, then they're stuck on that spot, or you're blocking them moving into a better spot. So, like, even just blocking movement or taking a mana tile, like, so you can send this guy out to fucking lamb. You didn't, like I said, it's a self.
Even just to drop him on a mana tile, so you get the extra mana and you get the card draw.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. So it was a very utility. You know, stats are weak, but you still got a two stated attack thing. And still doing 2 health to a general if that's its last action.
Yeah.
But the main thing was it's drawing a card, it's helping replace your deck and keep your hand healthy while putting a body on, take a mana tile or just clog up space. That's what it was there
early
for.
Game,
and it was very useful.
Early game, get mana tiles, get some cards. Late game, just get some cards out on the board and to be a pain in the butt. Like, yeah, he was pretty sweet. I liked it. Nothing wrong with good old Sunwispy.
How fucking balanced is that?
Balance. Alright, so who should we do next? That's Lyonar done, and there was much rejoicing.
Oh, thank God. Are we doing this in chronological order? So the next one would be Song Island.
Oh, fuck. Talk about a race I never played much.